With one of the most famous stories in the world, a brilliant yet disillusioned man, unsatisfied yet talented, who makes a deal with the devil for worldly pleasures. No, I'm not talking about my producer in the control room, Charles Biblazer. I'm talking about the legend of Faust. It's a classic opera that's been performed here in Israel. Our culture correspondent, Maya Margit, is here in the studio to talk about this latest production that just wrapped up here in Israel. Tell us about it.
So it's a really magnificent production. It's very unique. You have a stage that's been imported from Italy. Everything is very flamboyant. You just have to see it, basically, to know what I'm talking about.
And what is it about this opera, this story, that resonates to this day that still makes it so compelling?
I just think it's one of those classic tales of making a deal with the devil. Who doesn't want eternal youth? Who doesn't want to have knowledge of everything in the world? So it's just this idea that you can make a deal with someone, maybe lose your soul in the process, but at the same time gain eternal life.
And I know that you covered this story for us. Let's take a look now.
It's a classic tale of desire, seduction, and eternal damnation. A man makes a deal with the devil. In exchange, he receives youth, knowledge, and the love of a woman, Marguerite. Faust, an unforgettable story told time and again throughout the centuries, but never quite like this. At the Israeli Opera's production of Faust, magic is in the air.
It's a very good story that has another aspect to it besides the normal love story and death story that every opera has. It has its own mysterious part of life.
So what makes this telling of the popular German legend so different? As the saying goes, the devil is in the details, or in this case, on the stage. In fact, the entire set has been imported to Israel from Italy. Remarkable ballets, dramatic costumes, and solos. And yes, even demons. This opera has it all. There's also a huge cast, made up of actors and dancers from all over the world.
It was probably the most difficult character that I ever had to produce and to portray. It's very intense, and I think that it goes right into the darkness of the feelings and the darkness of the situation.
The old Christian folk tale about a man's diabolical pact with the evil Mephistopheles clearly lives on. Faust, a feast for the senses and the soul.
All right, back now with Maya. Now, Maya, this particular play, opera, is 150 years old, and it's been performed around the world. The set imported, as you mentioned, from Italy. Where else is this particular production going internationally?
Well, it's already performed in Torino and in Lausanne in France, and it's one of these productions that people keep buying into because it's so spectacular, and visually it's really a feast for the senses and for the eyes. So it's probably going to be traveling back to Europe. I don't have the exact dates yet because they still have to close deals with the opera houses, but I just want to give you an idea of this particular opera is so popular that in the next year alone there are about dozens of productions all over the world just of this specific opera because it's so popular, and it opened the New York Metropolitan Opera House 100 years ago. So it's really one of these things that's going to keep coming back, and people just love the story.
An internationally known story about being dissatisfied with their life, making a deal with the devil. Maya, thank you for bringing this opera to our attention.